Hi, good day, Julie. How are you today?
I'm good, Antonio. Thank you so much for having me. It's fun to be live.
You're welcome. So, today our topic is guaranteed helpful tips to empower you to greatness. And Julie, as you be the high performance coach, lead us on as to some tips to empower us to make us be energetic to create that great atmosphere that we want to create on this LinkedIn Live today.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to say hello to everyone out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Julie Ruska. I'm a high performance coach and the CEO of Powerful Leaders. My mission in life is to awaken people to the present moment, empower them to be their best selves, and to inspire everyone to have that ripple effect and make the world a better place.
Wow, that is very powerful. Making the world a better place is so imperative. And I like the energy that we, given out this morning. Just interacting with you, Julie, you are that energetic type of individual, and I'm thankful for that. All smiles. We have
Well,
to.
it's so important, and this is a great place to start. It's so important that we're intentional about who we are and how we show up in the world. And if you really want to have an impact on your community, on the greater good, then you have to be intentional about how you're showing up.
So true. And you see, the energy, transfer of energy is so important because sometimes you may walk into a room to do a presentation and the energy that you present, everyone feels that energy because energy is transferable. So,
Right.
yeah.
And so you're responsible for that energy. So
Hmm.
decide. And that's where we want to start. You are asking me like guaranteed tips to empower people. It starts
Yeah.
with clarity. Like, who do you want to be and how do you want to show up in the world? When you're clear on who you are and how you want to show up in the world, then you can become clear on your mission, on the things you want to accomplish each and every day, whether it's your career, relationships, health, or finances.
Great. And the thing about when you say you have to know yourself, that means you have to know your why. Because if you do not know your why when you wake up each morning, then you can never, get that true purpose of what you want to become or what you want to achieve in life.
Right, absolutely. And what's so interesting about that is when we hear like know your why, we go to this like abstract thought and how do I know? I'm not sure what my purpose is. But there are three simple questions you can ask yourself to help you determine your why. Number one is who do you want to be? Number
Hmm.
two is what do you want to create in the world? And number three is I put number three before number two. So this is the
No
live
problem.
component here.
No problem. You're being
So number
authentic.
one,
That's.
who do
Mhm,
you want to be?
mhm.
Number two, how do you want to relate to others? And number three, what do you want to create in the world? So it's who do you want to be? What type of person do you want to be? At the end of your life, what do you want people to say about you? And I
Hmm.
like to encourage people to come up with three words that define your absolute best self.
Wait, that's powerful. And Les Brown says it so good. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears.
Absolutely.
I like to go with the slogan live full, die empty. Because most of the talented persons, individuals out there, they are 6 foot under because they always had, the dream that they want to become someone, but because of fear, which fear kills, they was not able to commit to that. So we have to know that we have to live full, die empty.
Absolutely. So we have the clarity, right? Who you want to be,
Hmm.
how you want to relate to others, what you want to create in the world. And then you have to move in courage, right? To stepping beyond your fears toward that freedom, toward that greatness. And the way that you do that is you don't run away from what you fear, you confront it. A lot of
Correct.
fear is false evidence appearing real. So it's this, mindset of things are worse than they are. But I invite
Hmm.
people instead of focusing on what if in the negative, like what if this happens, what if that happens in a negative way, think about what's possible from here.
Hmm.
If I
That
step forward, if I take that new job, if I start that new relationship, what's possible for me? And when you spiral up, then there's so much potential. There's so much positive energy working for you.
so true, so true. And you know, I just always say, you see, when it is you're trying to be great, you have to put that work into your MBS, which is your mind, your body, and your soul. When you input content, what you consume is what you reap. So what you put into your system is basically what you will output. It will show. So these are things that little tips that people have to go forward in life. We always think that, all right, we want to be successful, but we don't want to put in the work. We have to put in the work, because if you do not put in the work, how will you reap the rewards?
Absolutely. And that's what I like to say. Anything is possible if, and a big if, like if you're willing to do the work, right? And that's
I like
where
that.
people get stuck. They'll say, okay, I have this big dream. And then fears come in, life comes in, circumstances come in, and we start to give our control away. But there are three things you can control. You can control your attitude, your effort, and your actions. So when you focus on that, that's when you really harness your power, because you're not worried about what's happening in the political world. You're not worried about what your neighbor's doing. You're not worried about competitors, because that, again, it's just noise out there. Focus on who you are, how you want to show up in the world, and then go do it.
Correct. That is so true. You have to focus on the attitude, not the amplitude, because you want to reach that altitude.
Right.
And how would you say someone who is living in fear or trying to overcome obstacles to reach to that pillar in life that they want to reach, how would they go about trying to overcome this fear, Julie?
I think the first step in overcoming fear is to acknowledge it. A lot of times we want to pretend it's not there and we just put beyond it. But I think it's important to acknowledge it and then decide what fears are realistic and which aren't. 90% of the things we worry about never happen. So it's important to look at that. Sometimes I tell people just list it, list everything you're worried about, and then look at it. What can you do something about? So take your power back, look at what you're fearing, and then get rid of it, eliminate it. The things you are like that are legitimate fears, you can look at and then take action on.
Julie, you know what's my fear?
What's your fear?
What we are doing right now. You see-
Going live?
Yes. And
I have a little trepidation here too. I am when you put the screen on, I look really funny and I'm not used to seeing myself. So I'm trying to focus on listening to you. But it is different being live. And you know what? How do you overcome the fear? You step beyond it. You lean into it. It's like, okay, what's the worst that can happen here? The worst that can happen, technology couldn't work. We might look silly. We might stumble on our words. And so what? Because we're being brave and we're being courageous to even show up and do this.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. You see, it's all about being authentic. So what if we fumble on words? So what if it is, you're describing something and you have it in different pointers and you start from point 1 and you reach point 3? So what?
Right.
So what? You're just being your authentic self. And most people try to paint an image, and an image is something that you do not want to paint, because being on LinkedIn, painting an image, and then when these people see you in real life, you are not that person.
Right.
What are you? That is that negative energy, that is you being not real. So people will be like, but you are just painting an image, and then now you're not building that trust. It comes like that trust will be lost, and people now would not want to buy into you. For me, in terms of sales, I love sales, right? 80% of sales is your attitude, and 20% is your aptitude. Because yes, you may be a person that born into selling, like you're this first person in whatever it is you sell. You're always a buyer always buying from you, whatever the case is. And some people may say you just naturally have that talent from small in terms of selling. But if you do not develop that talent, because sales now in the new era is modernized with technology, and then people buying behavior are changing because individuals now are more in tuned into technology, and they can easily access information on a product or a service that, let me say for you, you provide. They could find out about you, go on LinkedIn, go through your profile, see numerous recommendations that they recommend Julie, high performance coach. You train the best, everything. And it is true because I did it and I saw so many good reviews. And I was like, whoa, Julie, you are doing your thing.
Wow.
So
There's so many things I want to say. Can I come in here?
no problem. It's all
I
yours.
love it. And thank you for your complimentary words. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Going back to fear, you were talking about like, so what? That removes the significance. If you can make peace with the worst case scenario, then anything is possible. And most of the time, it's going to turn out better than you think. So make peace with the worst case scenario with your fears. Remove that significance. A lot of time, what holds us back really isn't the actual fear, it's the anxiety about it.
Yes.
It's that stress that wells up in us that says, you're not good enough, this isn't possible. And those go to your limiting beliefs, which you really have to excavate, right? Because you have to step into your power and believe in your ability to figure things out. You were just mentioning, the funniness of being on LinkedIn Live. It's also interesting when you talked about sales and skill set. You have to believe in your ability to grow, to expand, to figure things out. So with sales, you're right. If you have a good attitude, then you're going to be willing to put the time in to develop the skills that you need. But it's
Correct.
more important to have that attitude, because with that attitude, you're open-minded to learning as you need to learn. And none of us are perfect, right? We all are works in progress. And when we accept that, that's when we can really come and step into our power and be our best selves.
No one is perfect. When anyone thinks that they are perfect, they are telling a lie.
Right.
So it's like this and all too. I was fortunate to attend that interview yesterday, and I was mentioning to the interview panel about sales is 80% attitude and 20% aptitude. So when I said that, you will understand where I'm coming from, but somehow one of the interviewers did not understand that and wanted me to elaborate on it. And I did elaborate, and then he was like, okay, it makes sense. Like first time maybe he heard that before, so like he wanted clarification on that. So I elaborate on it and he was like, yes, that is so true. I said, yes, because if you do not have the attitude, imagine you going from prospect to prospect and being rejected. So what? You do not want to buy from me today? It means that you are uncertain as a prospect to buy my product or service today. But that do not say that you now going to make me feel less of myself. So when I go to the other prospect, I will feel that I'm going to get rejected too. No, I'm going to brush that off and go to the other prospect and portray like if it is, there's the first prospect I'm having for the day. That is the, energy, that is the intention. You want the prospect to know that you are confident in whatever it is that you are selling. You have the energy. You want to to let the prospect know that, all right, I am here to help you make the appropriate buying decision. I'm not here to sell you. I'm not coming out and say the word sell in before that prospect, because I do not want that prospect to feel like I'm a typical salesperson just trying to sell. No.
You have to believe in your product, and you have to believe in its ability to help people. And that's really important there. And you're right. You might have 100 calls and only one becomes a client, but you don't make any shots if you don't try, right? So you have to step beyond your comfort zone. You have to face your fears. You have to then let it go, right? Remove the significance, step beyond it. toward your power. And when you do that, again, anything is possible. If you're willing to get in there and do the work and call client after client after client, you will get a yes, but you have to be
Yes.
tenacious about it.
I want to bring up this here. Ashley said, "This is amazing stuff here, guys. Julie, you on fire. You on
Thank
fire,
you,
Julie."
Ashley. That's so nice of you to say.
And then Nicholas now said, "So true. Mindset is everything. Like when I make calls, my 100th call should have the same energy, passion as my first. You never know who is interested." Nicholas, you are spot on. That is so true. You want to,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And the important thing here is it's your first call with that person that
Mm-hmm.
day. If it's a cold call, if not, it's a second call, a follow-up call. But you have to think about it in that way. It's one client at a time. It's not about numbers, it's about people and connecting with people.
Correct is right. And Julie, some entrepreneurs are saying that you take 2 to 3 years or sometimes 4 years
Yeah.
to actually, be successful as an entrepreneur. What I want to know from you is, I am seeing, from watching on, that it have some entrepreneurs after, let me say, 6 months or 8 months, they actually scale in the business from, let me say, 0 to 100 real quick. So, what is your take on that?
On scaling your business faster.
On not putting a time frame to to scaling
Oh,
your business, because some people feel that it must be within the years to scale a business, when I actually saw that some individuals was able to scale the business within a matter of 6 months or 12 months.
right. It really is a matter of what your goals are. Do you need to scale up or do you need to focus on what you're doing and do it better? So that's really important. I think a lot of times we focus on scaling up before it's time.
Mm-hmm.
For me as a high performance coach, I was coaching for years before I had a public awareness, right? Before I
Mm-hmm.
had a brand on LinkedIn that a lot of people found out about. And during that time, I was honing my skills. I was becoming the most powerful high performance coach I can be. So when the time was right, I stepped out and then I started sharing and then I started scaling my business. But I think people put the cart before the horse with that a lot. And they start something and they try to go too big too fast. And that's why I think you see a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses failing.
Okay, sounds very interesting. And if it is I want coaching from you, I saw that, yeah, you are the high performance coach. So I am studying now. I may not be able to, actually get your services because I'm not a CEO or manager of a company. So I'm asking, like, for the ordinary person who want your services, how
Yeah.
will they be able to reach out to you for you to provide your service to them?
Right. Great question. I do love my one-on-one coaching with executives. I love that. That will always be part of my offerings, but I am expanding into some small group coaching, which is a
Okay.
more affordable way to have coaching with a few other like-minded people who want to become their best selves. And so there are always possibilities. I'm open-minded to helping whoever I can. Also, just by following me on LinkedIn, I release free content Monday through Friday. That's just a little nugget, something to
Mm-hmm.
consider. But if you're actually listening to the videos and reading the content and applying that, you can achieve great success right there.
And in terms of other platforms, are you utilizing other platforms in terms of your coaching services, or it's just basically LinkedIn? You have your thing going on.
Right. Based on my bandwidth, I decided to stick with LinkedIn. In the past, I was on Instagram, I was on Facebook, and I just wasn't finding my tribe. I think it's important to go where your people are,
Mm-hmm.
your clients, your connections. And for Facebook, it's more personal, it's more my friends and my family. I share a lot about my children on there. for Instagram, it just wasn't my demographic. There are not a lot of really high performers in the business world hanging out on Instagram. It's a little
High,
more,
perfor-
and Instagram's
high
great.
performance coach. Okay,
Yeah,
no
Instagram,
CEOs, no CEOs and no managers on Instagram and Facebook. That's what you're
yeah,
saying. Okay,
you know,
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that platform. It's a great platform. And my mentor and a lot of coaches have achieved success on Instagram, but it's more picture based.
Mm-hmm.
My videos, for example, they cut them to a minute and then you have to do it was complicated. So for my bandwidth and out of respect for my time and being a high performer, because I think it's important to have integrity and do the things that you suggest other people do, right? To lead by example. So based on bandwidth, I've decided to just solely commit to LinkedIn at this point.
And I will be honest to you. Yes, I'm on Facebook,
Yeah,
Instagram. Right now, I'm utilizing YouTube.
right.
Because we streaming right now,
Yeah.
Facebook, Instagram, and no, we streaming Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. But I totally put more of my focus, or I should say, most of my focus on
Right.
LinkedIn platform because I find it's very engaging. Professional people, when you
Yeah.
go on Facebook, sometimes the comments it do not be the best positive comments, and the worst thing to do is to have a Facebook comment war where you post something and it's just, one negative comment, you don't like it, you comment, and then it's just a battle in terms of negative comments on
Oh,
that one
well,
post that you post.
I would say time out there because Antonio, you are in control of your attitude, your effort, and your actions, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if someone is being disrespectful to you, you have a few choices. Number one, you can respectfully disagree and share
Mm-hmm.
your viewpoint. Or number two, you can simply move on, delete it. If it's really negative
Mm-hmm.
and you don't want to share it, then delete it and move on because it really isn't worth diving into that rabbit hole and going into that negative place.
That is so true. And positivity is something that you want to have right through and always kick negativity out the back door.
Right.
Because sometimes, you're so positive about something, and, one comment could be so negative that it just makes your whole, moral standard just down. And you feel like, all right, I'm taking a break off of LinkedIn or I'm taking a break off of Facebook. I do not want to post the other day because sometimes you get a little, I would say like one or two not positive comments on LinkedIn. It's not
Right.
bad as Facebook. Facebook
Right.
is it.
But
Yeah.
again, let's
Mm-hmm.
let's like remove all of that significance of
Yes.
how people react and focus on what's your message. Are you adding value to people's lives? And if you are, and if you really truly believe in what you're sharing, then keep going. But it is sometimes a chance with feedback to look at what was I sharing and was this of value to people?
Robert said, great info. You will appreciate it. Appreciate you, Robert, also. Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Rob. And back to, I know we're getting a little short on time here, back
Mm-hmm.
to small group coaching, one-on-one coaching. I have a website, powerfulleaders.com. There's a place that says start now, and it's an application because
Mm-hmm.
my audience has really grown. I can't work with every single person that sends me a DM. I get hundreds of DMs a day on LinkedIn, and I struggle to keep up with them. So please don't take it personally, anyone that I might not get back to. But if it's really important and you're interested in working with me, you can fill out the application. And you can also send me an email, julie@powerfulleaders.com. And so I invite people to do that if they seriously want to work with me, because I have scaled up much quicker than I anticipated in the realm of LinkedIn. And that LinkedIn inbox, oh my goodness. I mean, right now I probably have 2,000 unanswered messages.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. But it is. I don't hire a virtual assistant because I don't want to hand the power over of my brand. When I do respond to people, it's
Mm-hmm.
me. It's not someone on my behalf. And as
I
long
like
as
that.
I can continue to do that, I will do that. And that's my commitment to people. So even though I might not be able to answer every single message, know that when I do answer a message, it's me and it's coming from my heart.
I love that. And that is so, you make a valid point, because you have me thinking. Some people always say that when your business is scaling high and you implement automation in the process, but you do not want AI technology, you want to have that human to human interaction still going on. So when you maybe not bashing virtual assistants or anyone who maybe like would be like a social media person to interact with your customers. But I understand where you are coming from, where you want that it's you connecting with the person. So you get that connection one time. As we talked about energy, energy is transferable. So when you
Right.
connect with that person through messaging, they feel that energy one time,
Yeah.
and they will be like, yes, I want this coaching. I'm
Yeah.
seeing so many great recommendations on your profile, and this is something that I can see myself, accepting your services. So you are spot on with that, and I appreciate your positive feedback.
Yeah, I think it's so important that we remember that all business, or like you with sales, it's person to person. And
Correct.
yeah, there are great things that technology can do, but in the end, when you are working with someone, you're working with a person. It's not about numbers. It's not about focusing on your financial goals. It's really one-on-one. How can you best be of service to those people? And so we have to wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back to what we started with. Guaranteed tips to empower you to greatness.
Yeah.
Number one, always have clarity. You have to be clear about who you want to be in the world, how you want to relate to others, and what you want to create. When you're clear on that, you have to step forward one courageous step at a time. You have to face your fears, step beyond them, remove the significance of those fears, right? Like, so what? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what's the worst that can happen here? And then move beyond that. And from there, really focus on your contribution to the lives of others.
And the hardest part about, facing your fear is actually facing your fear. Because, for example, I'd have people who can't speak in front of a crowd, and they will never take themselves to go and speak in front of a crowd. Yes, you might be buckling your knees, you might be sweating, whatever the case is, but if you if it is you go and you face your fear once, twice, three times, four times, after maybe if it's some people might get it better the fifth time, some people might take until the 20th time, but eventually you will be able to overcome that hurdle. And when you do that now, it's only greatness can come. And that's what we have to understand. Look, I am facing my fear. My fear is public speaking. My fear is talking in front of the
And here
camera,
we
and
are.
I am facing it. I am facing it. It's only I could get better. You can't get worse, because as time go by, you'll be more comfortable and you'll be more calm, more energetic, and the energy will transfer onto the person who you are having, the session with. So in that sense, now when you face your fear, it's only good results, and good results equals money, which everyone wants. So face your fears and
Right.
earn that cash that you would like to have, because we need money to survive. Let's be real. Some people say that they go in
Okay.
entrepreneurship.
That's true. That's
You know,
true. A lot of people have some limiting beliefs around money, scarcity versus abundance
mhm,
mindset, and all of those things, which is a whole nother topic for another day. But
mhm,
yes, money fuels your freedom. It helps you. For me, I talk to people about creating a life they love, and that's so important. But you have
mhm.
to be able to support that life that you love, right? So
Correct.
you're right on money. We'll have to talk about that another day. But for
Yes.
today, yes, change happens one courageous step at a time. So each day, do at least one thing that will move your life forward, and that's how you'll achieve success. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I was going to type my website here, but I'm not sure that it's showing up, but it's powerfulleaders.com if anyone's interested in applying to work with me. Otherwise, keep watching on LinkedIn, engage with me. It's awesome. I'm so grateful for each and every person that watches my videos, that connects with me, that interacts with me. It's really humbling and it's an honor. So thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it. And I hope everyone has an amazing day. Go out there and create a life that you truly love.
Correct. And it was nice that you could have come onto my platform and express yourself and tell everyone why it is they should empower themselves. And I will make sure and put your website on the caption when it is I'm posting the live video. So anyone who want to engage with you, they know how to reach out to you via LinkedIn or your website.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too.